Good morning, Facebook. Here today. My name is Tina Collazo, and I'm actually having a single mom financial freedom workshop today, but it's going actually live and more virtual than a physical workshop. And I'm here right now at Black Dog Farm at Mount Welby in Linden, Virginia. It's in Northern Virginia, but just a little bit out. I wanted a very tranquil, very relaxing environment, and for me and my guests that will be coming through today. But outside of that, just to share a little bit about me. I've been a single mother for 10 years, and it's been an interesting journey. The struggle has really been real, and I didn't realize the challenges that single moms face. I was married before. We had everything. We had the houses, the cars, the money in the bank. We were we had what you would call the American dream. And then when I had to go through the divorce, all that had to go away. So my career was in shambles. My finances in shambles. I had to foreclose on the houses, had to file bankruptcy. I had to go through all those things and really start over. So, to rebuild my credit, to rebuild my income, to rebuild my career, everything. And so this, what I call the Single Mom Empowerment Program, is a result of my own personal journey. And since then, I've been a homeowner again. I had to learn how to manage money better. I've made a lot of money in the past, but also I knew how to spend it well. So that spending was not an issue. It was just budgeting that was. So this morning, I want to just take some time out to talk with you about how to manage money or budget better, because that seems to be the struggle. What I find, a lot of single moms, what they want in their life is they want their savings to grow. They want it to increase. They want to pay off debt. They want to leave a legacy for their family. They want passive income because, depending on child support, sometimes is not enough. They want to increase their net worth, and becoming financially free is, that's a big deal. And ultimately to take vacations with their families. So, the struggle that a lot of you guys are facing, a lot of you ladies, is that you have too many bills. There's not enough disposable income. You don't have enough time, and you're not organized, and just managing money or budgeting can be a challenge. And so with that said, what you have to deal with is mindset, like to really have a proper perspective about money and how you handle money, and even what your relationship with money is like. Where did it start? Like, what was it like in your childhood? How did your family, they tell you, what do you think, money grows on trees? Or did you, like me, I had to start working early. I started working when I was 14 because my parents were like, hey, we need you to contribute to things that you need, because it was overwhelming living in Northern Virginia. So that additional, hey, work for what you want. And it helped me build some work ethics that I probably would have never had to this day. And then also, a lot of single moms have so much debt they don't even see a way out. A lot of people have that. It's just not single moms, but a lot of people have that issue. So that's what I want to say. Even if you're not a single mom and you're watching this, I want you to take these tips that I'm about to share and really apply it to your life, because it is very key to your financial health. My goal is to help single moms and just people in general to go from financially illiterate and in captivity to just literally financially free. But everybody needs a blueprint. They need to understand how to do it. What is the roadmap to do it? So one of the things I want to challenge you is to first, consider, what is your 1-year goal? What, in a year from now, where do you see yourself? What would you like your life to look like? What do you want to do with your kids? What does your income look like? What does your bank account look like? Have you paid off all your debt? So I want to challenge you to write down that 1 year about your life. Even if you take your timer and put it out there for 5 minutes, what does that look like? And then what your 5-year goal is, and what your 10-year goal. A lot of times as single moms, we need to consider retirement. We need to consider saving for college. And because life is so busy, we don't even get around to doing that. So that needs to be part of your 1 year, and even your 5-year or 10-year, even if retirement is 20, 30 years away. The next thing is the 10-70-20 rule. I would love to say I made that up, but I didn't. This book called The Richest Man in Babylon. I read this book and it just really blew my mind, and I started applying the concepts of it. So the 10-70-20 rule, what you do is you take 10% of your income. So whatever you get paid, every paycheck, take 10% of that paycheck. So if your paycheck is, $5,000, take 10% of that and put $500 away into a bank account that you don't touch, or if you've already have enough savings, put it into an IRA or into a fund, a retirement account that allows it to grow for you. And the 70%, what you want to do is take that what I do is I take 10% of that towards tithing and charitable giving, and 60% taking that towards living expenses. So with that said, that's your groceries, your rent or your mortgage, your car payment, utilities, things like that. You really need to consider what are your necessary expenses. A lot of times we overindulge and we think everything isn't necessary. So really, really consider what is necessary. And then you have your 20%. So again, I said 10, 70, 20. So 20% is for credit card debt. So, what I would suggest you do is that 20% that you set aside for credit cards is take the minimum payment of all your cards, but then the one with the lowest amount, take that and you basically, whatever's left of that 20% that you have. So if you have $5,000 times 20%, that's $1,000. Take the balance of that and apply it towards the lowest amount on the card with the lowest amount, and that way you can start paying off and have some quick wins and getting that debt, and then pretty much make that a habit until you pay all the credit cards off. And again, even with the 70% I've already told you about, that use cash to pay for those, the entertainment that you want to do, if you want to go to the movies or you want to go travel, like be diligent in your savings and have a strategy on how you're going to pay for your lifestyle with cash, not credit card. And something else that I do is I have a budget committee meeting with myself once a week. I choose Wednesdays in the morning. I'm self-employed, so it just works that I can do that after I get the kids off to school. So Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, and I budget for about 30 minutes to an hour. And whether I have to pay a bill that week or not, it's a good opportunity to really see where I'm at with my budget, my finances. Is there anything outstanding? Is there something I should be planning for? And it just really helps to do that versus maybe once or twice a month when bills are due. So I would definitely advise you to do that. Pick a day. You don't have to pick Wednesday. You could pick Saturday morning before the kids get up. Whatever it is, just pick one day a week that you can consistently meet with yourself, or if you have somebody that's willing to meet with you that you admire financially, that would be what I would do if I were you. Because the budget committee meeting, it works. So every single week. And then I have also, I have a filing system. So you can go to Staples or any office supply store or even Target, get yourself, they have they have receipt holders, if you will, and the receipts can be from January to December. So file your receipts. I like to keep mine in revolving every 3 months so I can see what has been my spending habit. How much have I spent on groceries? How much have I spent on shopping for clothes or things that I need for myself or for the kids? And then I'm able to average those things out so I can see what my trending is. Did I spend more this month? Did I spend more a couple months ago? Where do I need to, or if I need to have carry cash for shopping or whatever, what do I need to set aside? So it allows you to see where your trending is and holds you accountable to how you are using your money. And the other thing is, like, I have a file folder that I put, and I bought a really pretty one because it motivates me to open it up and use it. But I have it again labeled January through December. So every time the front pocket, what I do is I use it to put all the bills in. And then as I pay them, I put it in that month that it gets paid. And then, because that makes it easy for me just if I need to reference anything, and even as a business owner, doing the same thing. So that way, when it's time for anything that my CPA might need or for tax time, I can easily pull it together versus strategies in the past having none, and things will just kind of be everywhere, and then I'd be frustrated and spend many hours just trying to find stuff and put things together. So again, it's about you being organized and you taking control over your finances and how you manage them. And then let's talk a little bit about debt management. Credit cards, too much debt. A lot of people just don't feel like there is a way out. And again, 20% is your number. So take your paycheck that you get every 2 weeks or whatever, take that, multiply it times 20, and that is what you need to set aside for your debts. If for some reason the debts that you have are more than that 20%, then call your creditors. Let them know that you have a budget, you're trying to work it, and you are committed to paying them back in full. These are hard conversations to have. They're embarrassing. I've had to do it, because like I told you, I had to do bankruptcy before. And so it's very humbling to have those type of conversations, but it's very liberating to let people know that you are trying and you want to pay them back. So, again, taking that 20% and managing that towards your expenses, because the great thing is once you get rid of that debt, that 20% now can go to towards your savings, and instead of putting aside 10% for yourself, now you could do 20% or more. It's about getting your expenses down and getting your savings up, and when you utilize cash, it also helps you be more diligent in your budgeting too. And so I've also helped women or single moms, like, hey, you may want to consider getting a second job, whether you're a consultant, doing something, or even Ubering. I had one client do that. That's really been helpful. So it's been in alignment with her. Allows them to you leverage basically when the kids are at school, or if they're sleeping, or during the day, or the weekends are with their father. You really just leverage your time, so that way you're able to bring in some additional income, and you attack your debt that way with the second job if it's necessary. And so the other thing I would really encourage you to look at is your current expenses. Really look at that number, and especially if you're looking to create a financial freedom plan, what is that number? What do you need to have in passive income every month to either meet or exceed that number? Because when you do that and you don't have to work extra hard for it, that's financial freedom. So you basically need to leverage your time and your resources. So if anything that I've shared with you this morning, if it resonates with you, and you're a single mom, definitely go to my website, schedule a free consultation, so I can meet with you and chat with you and see what kind of plan we can come up with. And if you have any questions, feel free, reach out to me, message me on Facebook. So that's it for the money management, unless you have any questions now. I'll be tuning in a bit with my other partners that'll be talking to you about financial planning. They'll be talking about how to renovate your home or your investment property and get the biggest bang for it, and some other people that'll be here that will give you some wisdom and insight.